trees, and in the distance, sleigh bells? Could it be Santa Claus?
This Purge guy is good. Real good. He may have a future in the detective business someday, but he's nothing compared to me. I've investigated theme park rumors from around the world, and I have always brought people the cold, hard truth. People say I'm the best in the business, and I have to agree. There's no competition to me. My name? Well, why don't you call me...
Excuse me, is this Randall Studios? I'm their new researcher and I'm already late.
No, that's 2 doors down the hall, on your left. Can't miss it. Anyways, where was I? Right. My name? For your safety, you can call me K. Welcome to my little business, Debunkedland. We in Debunkedland are in the business of investigating theme park rumors. Rumors no one else is willing to tackle, and business is booming. As we quickly found out, these rumors are bigger than ever and only growing from there. Today, my team and I have been commissioned to investigate rumors surrounding the Disney classic, Pirates of the Caribbean. Officially opening in Disneyland on March 18th, 1967, Pirates of the Caribbean was the first attraction to open in the brand new land, New Orleans Square, which had opened 9 months prior. This attraction was originally planned to be a walk-through wax museum, but after Walt saw the success of attractions Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln and It's a Small World at the 1964 World's Fair in New York, it was decided that a new audio animatronic boat ride attraction would be the way to go. Unfortunately, the Disneyland version of this attraction would be the last attraction Walt oversaw the majority of the construction of. Walt died in December of 1966, 3 months prior to its debut. Pirates of the Caribbean has been a success story from the beginning. Of course, over a span of 52 years, it is no surprise a variety of rumors and stories have come from this attraction. All rumors covered today will solely focus on Disneyland's version of the attraction. The 3 rumors we'll be looking at today are: did Disney reuse elements from a defunct Epcot attraction in the early 2000s version? Were all the skeletons in the original attraction real? Did an Anaheim fire chief force Disney to change the fire effects scene for being too believable? First up, did Disney reuse elements from a defunct Epcot attraction in the early 2000s version? Reusing and recycling audio animatronics is not unheard of for Disney. When an attraction closes, it is much easier and cheaper to recycle an animatronic than destroy the old ones to then build new ones. The first use of this idea dates back to the mid-1960s. After the success of the 1964 World's Fair, Disney brought It's a Small World, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, and Carousel of Progress to Disneyland. The 4th attraction, the Ford Magic Skyway, didn't make the move to Disneyland. However, the dinosaur animatronics did when the Primeval World diorama opened on the Disneyland Railroad in July of 1996. If animatronic recycling has been used in the past, was it used for Pirates of the Caribbean? On January 2nd, 1996, an opening day Epcot attraction, World of Motion, closed its doors for the final time. At the time, GM was struggling, while World of Motion's popularity was also decreasing. Because of this, GM wanted Disney to build a new attraction to replace World of Motion focused around GM's cars. This new attraction would become Test Track. There was one aspect that was in World of Motion that was completely abandoned for Test Track: animatronics. Over 150 animatronics were used in the original attraction. With the attraction closing, it would be a severe waste of money and resources to scrap them all. At some point after the closure, a number of these animatronics were sent to Walt Disney's Imagineering offices in Glendale, California to be recycled for other projects. We know that this is the case as at the opening of Disney California's Adventure in 2001, a familiar character from the World of Motion could be found in the backlot stage area. The sea serpent from the Christopher Columbus scene could be found marked for the props department. We don't know when exactly the sea serpent was placed, but we do know that it was there from the beginning and with the construction of California Adventure starting in 1998. It wasn't in Glendale for long. That wasn't the only place in Anaheim to find World of Motion animatronics, as this rumor is true. At some point in 1997, a number of human and animal animatronics were added to the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction. This can be seen through examples such as the stubborn horse being pushed by 2 men in the Worlds of Motion, being used as 2 pirates trying to pull a heavy load of treasure up a hill. Another rumored set of recycled animatronics could be seen just after the auction scene. In this scene, a pirate is going back and forth, keeping a fruit basket out of the reach of both a goat and a horse. This horse and similar looking blacksmith could be found within the World of Motion attraction. While the timing makes sense for this addition, other attraction openings make it so this feels false. While you can only see it for a brief second, a video of the attraction from 2006 clearly shows the pirates fighting off the horse and goat still. The important thing to note with that, however, is a Jim Hill media post from 2005. In it, Jim Hill discussed the backlot tram tour queue. When walking through the prop warehouse, you come face to face with a familiar horse from a familiar attraction. That being said, watching a video of the queue from 2002, you can see glimpses of the horse's head, meaning that the horse never left Florida. While we can definitely see the resemblance from the horse from World of Motion and the horse from Pirates of the Caribbean, they at most use the same mold. Unfortunately, a majority of the animatronics were lost when a large refurbishment happened to the attraction in 2007. In 2007, Jack Sparrow was added to the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction. A notable Jack Sparrow addition / World of Motion loss that came in this update was the addition of Jack's treasure room. This room took the space that had previously held the two pirates trying to take the treasure up the hill. While there are few, if any, notable animatronics left in Pirates of the Caribbean, we can confirm they did exist at some point. Next up, were all the skeletons in the original attraction real? Walt's attention to detail and focus for authenticity was nothing new. For the opening day ceremony of It's a Small World, guests could find representatives from over 50 countries dressed in their traditional clothing. Along with these representatives were children from these countries who on opening day poured water from all the oceans, as well as other major bodies of water to solidify the global unity theme of the attraction. Another example of this is with the light bulb in Coke Corner. The story is that one day Walt was walking down Main Street, and when he hit Coke Corner, he noticed two white light bulbs beside each other, ruining the pattern. To fix it, Walt got a painter to paint the off light bulb both colors so the pattern still worked. But how far would he take the authenticity? Walt would get pushed through the attraction by Imagineers on a dolly so he could see what the attraction would look like before it was even complete. The $8 million attraction, or $61 million today, was almost perfect in Walt's eyes. There was only one thing off about the attraction: the skeletons. The design team had created a stunning environment, only to be disappointed by the fake skeletons. These skeletons were clearly fake and just too unconvincing to look real. That being said, this rumor is plausible. The only source that confirms or denies this rumor is found within the book Pirates of the Caribbean, From the Magic Kingdom to the Movies by former Imagineer Jason Sorrell. Unfortunately, this is a second-hand source as Jason wasn't alive during the construction of the attraction. While there is no other evidence to either confirm or deny the rumor, the single secondary source alone isn't enough to confidently mark it as true. With that, here is the plausible story that was shared by Jason. Walt would stop at nothing to make the attraction look as real as possible. The Imagineers reached out to some friends they had at the UCLA Medical Center to see what could be done. They returned with multiple real skeletons for the attraction. These skeletons fit into the attraction much better as the authenticity behind the skeletons boosted the overall effectiveness of the attraction. As faux skeleton technology improved, the real skeletons were removed and sent back home for proper burials. Eventually, there were no real skeletons left. Or were there? Many believe that there is at least one real skeleton left. The heavily rumored one is the skull and crossbones on the headboard of the captain. The rumor is that this one is still real, and you can tell this due to how it looks much darker and more aged compared to the skeletons around it. It is believed that this skull was actually donated by an Imagineer, so this is the reason it is still used. So while the skeletons have all been replaced since opening day, it is possible that at one point these skeletons were real. Finally, did an Anaheim fire chief force Disney to change the fire effects scene for being too believable? As made clear by the previous rumor, Disney went all out to make this attraction perfect in all aspects. Whether that was with props, scenery, or even effects, the attraction was going to be as realistic as possible. Unfortunately, some of the effects were a little too realistic. The fire scene in particular really stood out as being one of the top effects of the attraction and looked extremely believable. But was it too believable, causing the effect to be changed? While the fire chief made some suggestions about the attraction, he did not force Disney to change the fire effects, meaning this rumor is debunked. It is true the fire chief rode the ride early on and was very impressed with the attraction. It is also true that the fire chief believed the effects were real. What truly happened is that the effects stayed the same, but the fire chief suggested that Disney add in sensors that automatically turn off fire effects in the event that there was a real fire. He stressed on this ability as he was quite worried that if there was a real fire, his firefighters wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the fake fire and the real fire until it was too late to be recovered. While the effects have changed over the years, the sensors are believed to still be in place, just in case the unfortunate still happens. That wraps up this episode of Debunkedland. Don't forget to send us your leads on all of your favorite theme park myths and rumors. Comment below, and we'll look into it.